Do you think it's all right to drink alcohol at children's parties? Maybe you think it's absolutely compulsory. Lots of people do it. It all starts at the christening where everybody gets legless. And it's definitely not illegal to do it, of course. You can drink as much as you like if you're having a party in a hall or in your own home. But maybe you think there's a time and a place for boozing, and kids' parties are not the time or the place. 0207 862 2222 is the number. Do give us a ring on this one. Narinder, you're the one with the youngest children. Do you serve alcohol at their parties?
No, I never did as they were growing up. And I think it's just a safeguarding issue. If you've had, I remember we had a trampoline party and they're always dangerous anyway. And if you've even had one glass, how quickly can you respond? I think it's really reckless. I think it's completely irresponsible. And why can't people just refrain for a couple of hours? What kind of, what image are you putting out to your children that we're all sitting here getting drunk as adults while they're playing and no one's actually keeping an eye on these children? I think a couple of hours without drinking, why not? Why do you need to drink?
Let's bring Dawn in, because very
Dawn's
often
thinking I need a drink.
The alcohol is the alcohol's over there, the cocktails are over here, the Pimm's is over there. It's kind of a prerequisite,
I need a bottle of gin, especially if it's her birthday. No, I think everything, champagne, gin, whatever, with you wouldn't be fussy. I think everything in moderation. I don't think there's any harm in having a glass of wine. Obviously, not a bottle of gin, by the way, that was a joke. But I think a glass of wine, it's just going to relax mum and dad, it's going to make you happier. It's not so...
Why? Why do you need to relax?
Because it's a birthday party.
It's not for you. No, it's not for you. And one glass will lead to 2 and then 3 and then children not being looked after. You know, this is about safety. You've got safety concerns.
Tell me more about your drink problem,
No, but I'm just saying, you can't just go there and expect to have wine and alcohol. It's a children's party. Have a soft drink, have a slush, have a, I don't know, raspberry ripple, something.
You know
but
how
you
bad
don't
slush
need
puppies
to.
are for you.
Well, either way, but I don't think anybody needs alcohol. And I can't believe this is actually a question. You should be able to go to a children's party and children should be able to see adults not drinking.
Barbara. Barbara's on the line in Hampshire. Barbara, hello. Thank you so much for calling. What about alcohol at children's parties? Very often it's just part and parcel of the whole thing. A game of pass the parcel and a drink to sort of wash it down.
Well, hello, Vanessa.
Hello.
I'm Barbara. I spoke to you before about HRT.
Yes.
We'll talk about that another time. It was so funny. I don't agree with alcohol at children's parties. Rarely are they disciplined enough just to have a glass of wine.
Yes.
And it does become reckless for some people. And I've witnessed this a lot of time in my past with children's parties. And sadly, there are some people that at the end of the party will then offer to take you home or take your children home. It escalates. So no, I don't agree with it. I don't know why we couldn't all just, as somebody on your programme just said, couple of hours, that's all it takes. If you're that desperate, don't do it at the party.
In the days, Barbara, when you were throwing children's parties, did you feel that it would be kind of frowned upon, let's say, or people would have thought that you were a rubbishy hostess if you didn't provide alcohol?
No, I wouldn't. It wouldn't be to do with that. There was alcohol around in the house. However, I can't say I wouldn't allow it, but I would frown on it. I had a large family and people did like a drink now and then. However, this was a long time ago. I'm 83. So I've been to all manner of parties where children are present. And sadly, it seems to be getting worse.
Yeah, would you say to Narinder that it's served more often, it's almost inevitable and almost
I think that it can cause trouble between adults. You can end up fighting. Honestly, in our Indian community, there used to be a big thing where you'd have a first birthday party or 5th and there'd be alcohol everywhere. And I'm telling you, it would cause trouble. Now what I've noticed, there's a shift. They've started doing children's parties or celebrations at the temple where there's no alcohol involved because they can't have it. It's forbidden. And I think that actually it's intentional why they've done that, to avoid these situations of trouble starting and people's tongues become a bit looser, and it shouldn't be about that. It's about children. Like, when did children alcohol? That should never be.
I'll tell you where I was only the other day, and I have already said this on the show. I was very lucky indeed to be invited to the Royal Garden Party, one of the Buckingham Palace garden parties this year, and it was for the Not Forgotten charity. And some people were very, very surprised and not altogether thrilled that there is no alcohol served at the palace.
I can tell you, Vanessa, I was one of them. I was there, and it's like, oh, could I have a glass of champagne?
Yeah.
And you don't get one?
No.
Why?
It's a cup of tea, and it's not a very nice cup of tea.
A cup of tea, or you can have a little, very small glass of iced coffee, very small, and water. And I think maybe cordial, fruit squash or something. something, but there is no alcohol. And you see people like to going in expecting
Where's
for
the alcohol?
their champagne or they're going to have a glass of fizz and toast the royal family. And then they're looking around, where's the bar? Where is the bar?
Yeah.
Where
Is it
is
because
it?
it's too
And the answer is,
expensive, or
no,
it's
I
just
think they don't
wrong?
want people to be rowdy and they don't want people to be intoxicated, I think.
Where do we lose the ability to control what we eat, what we drink? It's just about personal responsibility. If you're having a glass of wine at a children's party, so it's a summer party, we're almost in June now, a nice glass of chilled wine in the garden with the little ones, where's the harm in that?
I just
There
love the way
can
you
be
say
harm.
we're almost in June. You know, at any time of year, you could have said, no, it's nearly November. You know, it's coming up for February.
talking about
You know,
a
we definitely
garden
have to have
party.
alcohol. Why wouldn't we? But the faces of people at the Royal Garden Party, I kept clocking it. I could see them looking around. Now, where is my drink? Where's my drink?
I'd leave. I'd be like, I thought I'd get champagne in Buckingham Palace Gardens.
Oh, well, I was tucking into the scone.
Oh,
and if anyone
nice.
wants to know the scone situation...
Were they nice?
Cream... Is it jam or cream first?
Right.
And the answer there at Buckingham Palace, and they should know, cream and a tiny dollop of jam, more like a garnish than an actual thing.
Yeah, but Vanessa, how many people were wearing trainers?
I don't think anyone was wearing trainers. I can't say.
I don't think you're allowed
so.
to, because I did Google this, and the protocol is you're not allowed
I
to
think
wear trainers.
nobody was in
Protocol.
trainers.
Yes.
Now you're understanding.
Yes.
Protocol.
No, but, yes.
All right.